issues as we've been having for the majority of tonight, unfortunately. But we're here. Both teams are ready to go. Orgless starting on attack, Miner eSports starting on defense.
And they're, of course, going to be in the trophy room, as we just discussed earlier, that being the predominant one now. No surprise there.
And what we do see, so Pulse has made an appearance on some strats, some teams left and right here, but I'm not quite sure I expected Miner eSports to choose a Pulse. And the reason why is they tend to play, in my opinion, they like to play off-site a little bit. They like to kind of play the lurk, play the roam. I'm sure we're going to see one upstairs, possibly one downstairs. And I don't know if I would pick a Pulse for that. I think Pulse is good if he's going to give intel who's outside of Trophy, who might be outside of Kitchen, who might be upstairs.
Well,
but
I think you underrate some of his utility. Like, for example, he's playing dining room right now, right? You think, okay, he can see what's upstairs above him right now. But you're also underestimating he can see when people are down in wine right there as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will get in these fights over wine, even though this is the bomb spot, because they'll try and enter there and take control of that bottom floor. So yeah, it's not as useful when you're just giving intel if you don't have anyone down there, but his ability to C4 up and combined with his ability to give intel on both floors, I think it's pretty useful.
Now, Snake just totally ignoring the cameras outside. He'll pre-fire the window, but he still has the camera out by the gazebo, right behind him.
Yeah, they're just definitely playing this a little fast and loose. Now, what we typically see from Orgless is to take control of the top floor and then actually push dining.
So Justin saw him on cam, saw Snake out there, and he's just going to say, hey, I'm just going to take another peek. Is he there? If so, how are we going to get him killed? Because he's just sitting right there.
Yeah, not a lot of options to get him killed.
Now,
his drone doing some work, actually distracting them.
K9's actually not on Twitch this time. He's on Sledge, a little bit different operator than I was expecting. They don't have a thermite. Not really necessary on a trophy hold.
This is the spot he usually plays, though.
This is, which is why it made me think, I'm like, wait, why is Twitch not up here? And that's because Twitch is not K9.
Yeah, so Slash definitely playing it differently.
Oh, and coming up from underneath, we saw the bullet side of that. Justin's able to get K9. Predictable spot if you're playing against K9 there.
Nice choice there. Avian still going to roast some marshmallows before he gets going. He's a little pick-me-up.
Looks as though they might have prematurely dropped the diffuser over there, and Avian's like, well, might have to go pick it up now. Snake moves on in after finally getting off the balcony, and they have secured the top floor here. But no hatch getting open due to no thermite.
This is why you bring Buck on this map. Sledge, maybe not as much. He has a lot of trouble getting through both of the floors. I'm not a big fan of Sledge on here unless you're bringing him for other reasons, like the is just not his strong suit on this map.
Ooh, and there's Slash, spots him. Let's take a quick look. Now there it is. Eclipse knows he's been droned out. Is he going to get the shots on the Slash, or is Eclipse going to get the win? There's the bullet, and Eclipse finishes him off after being spotted. Twitch falling to the UMP. 45 seconds to go, a 5-on-3, and Pulse is making his way back to site. But Jarvis at the top of the stairs, not quite sure Pulse has seen him just yet.
I like that he hid, though. He went jungle. Just get in there hiding.
Jarvis is going to look down through the hatch from which Justin killed K9. And this is that floor opening that is so well known and so well used by Buck.
Oh,
I say that Jarvis, and that's going to be, look at the bounce from Pulse.
Astronaut Pulse.
Scared him so much, he just had springs in his shoes and just boink.
BKM, though, scaring someone else with the C4.
And right there, as we're trying to see who's going on to get killed, Ezla is able to get Avian, and Justin picks off the final kill. And Miner eSports showing a strong defense there, even though they had lost the Pulse.
Where was this Miner eSports earlier? I mean, I think Justin is new, and maybe that's the critical component they needed. Between Justin and Eclipse and Bacon occasionally doing some work, Esley picking up some slack, and Jahan Smile even getting some kills. Just everyone doing work. Whereas it seems like Orgless are getting picked off one at a time. They're not necessarily working what looks like as a cohesive team. They're kind of like they all are doing their little job, doing their little thing, and getting picked off one at a time.
Yeah, and one of the things I might say that's a reason of, or might blame that on, is because, like I said, this map, prior to Clubhouse being the primary map, this was the map.
Yeah.
This was the map chosen. And now that there are only 2 original Orbit members, or 2 original members from Orbit onto this team, they might be just unintentionally going back to their standard ways of playing.
Yeah.
And it might not be meshing with the 3 new players on their team this season.
Well, then I'm curious to see how this plays out because they're playing a very different loadout. There's no Jaeger in here. There's no Bandit of any kind. Yes, there's Smoke, there's Rook, and there's Valkyrie, but then you've got Doc and Mute of all things. So they definitely have to have some kind of plan here. I'm not sure what the purpose of the Mute is other than maybe to jam drones. Not a lot of, I mean, yeah, you could drone the wall where K9's out on the trophy wall, but other than that, like, you see Jarvis up here, is he just going to try and stop them from getting drones in on the top floor?
Yeah, I kind of potentially see maybe a C4, an opening between bathroom and here.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to stop a drone going from Master in there. He just wants to kind of cut them off at Master. But I don't know if this will work. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get drones in here. So we'll see if it pays off, though. Avian doing some late reinforcements.
And Snake rowing all the way over, but Justin picking off a nice shot onto Slash. Now, I believe that was outside right by the office. Let's take a quick peek on where the body fell. Almost pulled the same move. That was, I believe, the same move Avian. Right, the same one that was just pulled onto K9.
There's some drones getting in fine on that side as Jarvis didn't put any kind of jammer over there.
Taking a look. Jarvis still on the top floor here. As we go back, Eclipse right on the other side of the wall.
A lot of people hanging out on edges.
Up. And now Bacon pushes on in, but will be shot from underneath from Avian. Now, he's inside. They know he's in the office. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a C4 from Jarvis to open up some of the wall. But let's just take a quick peek over here at Avian, who was looking upwards.
Blackbeard's down at very low health. All they got to do is finish him off at this point, and it could be a good coup for them.
And Bacon's in here, to me, prematurely. I mean, he knows the wall to his left or to his right is able to be wall banged and shot through. It's just a matter of, is someone there?
Yeah, I don't think he has any idea that Mute's right there.
But Eclipse pushes on in from the bathroom, opens up the wall. We're going to take a quick look over here at Jarvis because he's got to feel a little antsy. To his right, oh, he spots and gets the shot into Esley. Oh, and there he's finally going to retreat back downstairs, says, I did my job, got the kill, I'm out.
Almost cut off by Bacon.
Falling to the Mute.
Yeah, good play on Jarvis's part. He really almost walked into Bacon, though.
I honestly thought he was ready for it. I thought he knew Bacon was in there, so I thought he might have fought it.
Yeah, he just, I guess, decided, you know what, better to not fight this, better to take my win and move on.
Yeah, and as we say that, though, Jarvis took the win, but he's already rotated to the back stairs and potentially will come up those way.
Good call on his part. They're really not going to expect that. Interesting to see them carrying the laser sights. Now that the laser sights got that little buff there to where they're not displaying the laser, just the dot at the end. More teams actually using them.
It's almost those. I mean, Cat still seemed to spot those lasers right away, so we might just spot from an attack standpoint. But here's Avian. Spotted the Blackbeard shield. You just need to pre-fire this, Avian. Go for the long peek. Go for the pre-fire. But right here, we'll have to see if the shots land. They keep going back and forth. We know they know each other there, but Jarvis finally returns the fire from behind and gets the shot onto Bacon, finishing off what he should have done a while ago. Now it's a 4-on-3, as Slash did take that early death.
Oh, nice Eclipse.
Looking over here, it's last onto Eclipse. He's managed to get into Kitchen, but tries to jump through the wall, and it is Snake there with the shotgun to deny the vault.
Orgless won that, but that was close. I have to say, like, a few mistakes on Miner's side pretty much cost them the round, but they had a pretty solid round for a lot of that. Jarvis being a big monkey wrench in their works there, though, like just going around, just roaming the whole map, and I think that paid off. I mean, I don't know if his mute jammer really played into that or not, but his ability to just sit there right next to it. Yeah.
I want to say he did because he just sat in the middle of the hallway and he wasn't droned out. So it was either for two reasons. One, the mute jammer stopped the drones, or two, Miner eSports just faulted and just didn't drone as effectively as they should have.
We lost Snake, unfortunately.
No, Snake, where are you going? So with that, Orgless is going to back out. We will rehost. Actually, no, we're not. We don't really need to rehost. We just need to get them back in lobby to start it off. But we will rehost because Miner eSports is leaving now.
Well, I guess they needed a quick drink of water.
They did potentially. I mean, so that was what? 2-1? 2-2? 1-1?
2-1.
2-1.
There we see that there.
No, 1-1.
Or no, yeah, 1-1 because it's up to
1-1. Each side taking a win to themselves, holding on to the trophy room, both sides. So with that, we are going to have to remake the lobby. We're going to cut to a short break. This time short because it seems like we've got all of our issues sorted out, except for Snakes. Hopefully he'll be back.
Yeah.
Hopefully. All right, guys, we're going to take a short break. Stick around. We'll be right back. Look at that. A short break and we're back.
Yay!
No long break whatsoever here for us anymore. We do have Orgless back on attack, and we have Minor Esports back on defense as we go underway in round 3 for tonight's final match on Chalet between these two teams.
So since we saw 2 successful defenses in a row, that means we're going to see 2 wine cellar snowmobile garages in a row, I imagine.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
Unless we see a master bedroom or game room, that would be interesting. But so far, starting out on wine cellar snowmobile garage. This is one where there's a lot of good attacks on both sides. It's one where like you can either, attack the backside or the snowmobile side or both. I personally am a big fan of both because once you open a snowmobile garage, it forces them to have to watch that in a way that's like really takes away from their defense of the wine cellar. So generally a lot of times what you'll see with teams is they'll open up the snowmobile garage and then decide what to do from there.
And as we see right here, as we're staring at the wall, we see they use an impact grenade to get rid of the shelving to the left of the reinforced wall. And what that allows them to do is tuck themselves into that corner, whether or not they put a shield down there. It allows them to tuck themselves into that corner so they aren't at an angle from this hallway.
Yeah, it's something that definitely benefits, especially if they bring a thermite and open up that wall. It gives you a chance to still have a reinforced position that can't be taken out by thermite. So it's definitely a good strategy, and it's something that's enabled by the impact grenades. We're seeing a lot of creativity with the impact grenades in coming up with different solutions for things you can open. Like, for example, Kix has mentioned in one of the spots that's in here for base, that green pallet, using an impact grenade on there. I mean, yes, these are spots you could have C4, but hey, not going to waste a C4 on them. Jahan definitely playing an aggressive defense here against an open window.
Tries to go for the shots, but K9.
Punish.
I'm sorry, that is K9 finally playing Twitch again. K9 picks off the shots onto Jahan.
He's a good Twitch player, though, so I was surprised he wasn't playing him before. But he's back on it, already doing damage. They've taken control of this floor pretty fast.
So Jahan got up there. I don't know if he was detected or not on the way to get up there, but it didn't look like he was detected once he was there. So I think he could have gotten a kill off had he just waited for the jump into the window.
Yeah, just a little impatience. They're trying to peek it, feeling good after a lot of their wins here, but you see Justin roaming the top floor, hoping to get a late kill. We see a lot of Jaegers doing that, being a 3-speed operator with a good long-range weapon, able to take advantage of this. But he's going to have to sneak over and hope he doesn't get droned.
All right, so this is that wall right on the other side where we saw Bandit. Is he going to... He does get it right there.
Job by Eclipse
with the Bandit swap.
And that's going to cost them. They really want to have 2 thermites on this. Like, even if you don't do that wall, doing the wine closet is really useful. Although it looks like some damage on the wine closet from a different angle here.
Yeah, so Buck, just look how close the middle of his crosshair is to seeing Bacon's feet. If he can, there's the nade, and he's just gone. I'm out. Bye, Bacon. And so with that, Bacon kind of has to relocate.
He wants to peek it, though. You see him desperate to peek.
I think he does.
Snake.
Here comes the nade. There it is.
It downs him.
Downed him. Didn't get him killed just yet, but he will crawl back to Esley. As the wall gets opened up, Eclipse will fall. And there's Snake dropping and getting 1 kill. Down the other.
Uh-oh.
Now he's inside of the closet. Reloading, trying to make a push on in. Slash is going to try to win, or shoulder peek. Avian, though, gets the kill. Moving on to K9, looking at the trail from behind. Now Avian's going to push on in as Snake got the kill into Bacon. It's all up to Justin. He's going to drop as well, but will be instantly killed by Jarvis.
Drop is right. I was starting to think that was going to be a flawless round until Snake got killed towards the end there. They almost got just a 5 kill. But nicely played by the attackers. Like, I was starting to think they were going to lose some momentum when Bandit tricked and took out that thermite charge. Eventually, they managed to get him out of position, though, and actually get that wall blown open. And that paid off big time once they were able to get in. You saw the kills come down. I like that angle by Snake, though. Getting open that wall, having that wall not reinforced in any way, allowed him to kind of control that area. And in doing so, they started kind of moving their way and picking off people.
Yeah, a lot of teams don't utilize don't reinforce that drop hatch above wine. And for the most part, it goes unscathed. No one really cares about it. No one really opens it up, utilizes it. And so I think Orgless decided, you know what? Let's take a normal defense, a normal defensive setup, and say, what are the holes that are opened up that no one really takes advantage of?
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be this wall that gets not reinforced, and you can open it up, get a better angle on the shelving here. Others, it might be, hey, this drop hatch is now something that you can open up, and let's utilize it to our advantage. Get someone out of the closet, which there's almost always someone there.
Yeah, another problem with that drop hatch, as well as the one in the fireplace lobby, of course, is that they have limited angles because you can only see them for certain sides. And that does limit the utility of them. Same with this one. A lot of these drop hatches are against walls, but you still see that a lot of utility from them. The defenders here actually bringing up that mute again with Jarvis. So the question is he going to be able to utilize that for roaming, or is he just going to try and deny on sight? But we do see him getting some armor late. Probably going to rotate up one of those stairs, but it's hard to say. Like, it looks like he might just be trying to help Avian out here, trying to jam so that he can try and bandit trick that without anything coming in. But they're just probably going to nade it. They've got Buck Thatcher there with some nades.
They also got Thatcher.
And then Thatcher makes easy work of it.
Very easy work.
They did see that the drop hatch was open, and I imagine they're going to try and use that information in some way to help them, as they know that there's probably a roamer up there if that drop hatch is open.
And so you were saying earlier, Jarvis getting armor, coming back upstairs. Here he is, gets droned out, finishes off the drone, and I don't know what is he going upstairs, downstairs? I think he's just trying to confuse everybody, including us.
I think the drone kind of saw him going downstairs and maybe decided to play off that, or maybe just decided I'm better off upstairs. And that's probably true. I mean, he definitely. I see a lot of spread out roamers here. They definitely do not want to be trapped on site. But the question is, are they going to lose their 1v1s if they get into them and the upstairs? And if so, then that will cost them when the site pressure comes down.
Yeah, and so Eclipse is outside of the main lobby by Kitchen. He's moving on over to pick up or help out Bacon, who right now he's got many different angles. He doesn't know exactly where to go, or doesn't know exactly where the lurkers are. It seems like his droning might not have been grade A.
Well, I mean, at this point, like, as a roamer, you...
Does he spot K9? He sees K9's
Right in the
feet.
Come on, K9.
Hurts him. And there, K9 finally falls. But in the same time,
Oh.
Slash, he didn't actually get the kill all the way. Slash, though, able to get 2 kills. Avian that picks off Bacon. He just cannot finish
He
off
abandons
K9.
K9.
K9's going to be there and will be picked back up. And in one heck of a round,
What?
Slash gets a 4K from coming out of the fireplace into bar and gets 4 kills right there as Avian got 1.
That round just blew me away.
Did he just 1-deeg?
I
He just
think
1-deeg right
did.
there. Slash the deagle right there. I love it. Unfortunately, we didn't see any of the kills.
Yeah.
None of them. Brilliant plays. I can tell brilliant. But we're too busy looking at K9's feet.
Yeah, it's the fact that K9 survived. Like, Blackbeard clearly just trying to get him to stand up, right? And as soon as he does, can't finish the job because he falls back down into cover, and Avian just exploits it. Blackbeard is very weak on stairs. That's one thing you have to remember. If you're a Blackbeard player, last thing you want to do is be standing on stairs. And that's actually what cost him right there. Bacon not thinking about that, too greedy for that kill. I mean, to be fair, he didn't expect Avian to peek out, but
Yeah.
that is a weakness. I've seen a lot of kills on Blackbeard on stairs like that for exactly that reason.
I think he saw the feet, and he was like, I got this kill in the bag.
Yeah.
I got this kill. He shoots it once. It's almost like, see, I think
Dance for me.
it's dance, but at the same time, it's almost like when you see a dead body, you shoot it to make sure it's dead and it doesn't move. K9 basically played the dummy there and said, "You didn't shoot my foot. You didn't kill me, did you?"
Yeah, but there's no one dead yet, so I don't know if I don't know if feigning death would have worked. Like he's like you imagine him looking at the top of the screen, like, wait a minute, no one's dead yet.
Why am I shooting his foot? The guy's not moving, but he's not dead.
Playing possum there. So now that the basement has been defended twice as we expected, they are going to go back upstairs with Miner going to defend this again. Both teams successfully defended it, so there is a good chance. Looks like he wants to find a little hiding spot tucked under the desk there potentially.
I've tucked in there before. Not the best.
Tight fit, yeah.
Very tight fit.
There's in that area too, like, so the whole floor is very exposed to someone like Buck just coming up and just ripping it up. So if they catch you there with a drone, it's a situation where you're stuck under a desk when your feet are just hot lava at that point. So I imagine they'll probably use the Buck that way, but maybe not. Looks like Buck wants to do the upstairs instead. Doesn't want to take advantage of the garage, just wants to play up there. Fuse, though, did not see that earlier. K9 bringing the Fuse. I'm a big fan of that, actually, on this attack. I think there's some good strats for taking that Fuse and then just clearing out some areas downstairs and taking control and exploiting the fact that you have top control.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't spot him either. We're here talking about all the other operators, and here it is, K9 not playing Twitch, not playing
Still
Sledge,
playing the same spot,
Fuse.
though.
He's never going to give up this spot.
He likes it
If
here.
you guys want to fight K9, he'll always be on this balcony.
Yeah, just, you don't even have to call him. Just come find him up there.
But here he is. Now, I want to say this is going to work. I want to say it's going to work, but there is a pulse.
Yeah, and Buck's already dead.
But
so that
pulse is
doesn't
nowhere
help.
to be found. So, yes, this will work for K9.
If you can ever go inside and do something. I'm not, yeah, did they just
Very
want him to be
cautious
3
out.
armor operator? Or?
I think they just
There we go, here we go. Now the party's going to start. Jahan might fall
taking a
victim to
quick
this.
look. He hears it, and he just
Run!
gets out of the way.
Yep, almost goes into an exposed position. He's looking for the follow-up. K9's already moved away, though. This is a situation where actually if you lay Fuse down inside the bushes there, he's actually pretty hard to see. And you can see down, but he does want a much closer angle there.
So I think at this point, you utilize the last Fuse charge to get them out of dining and you push in from dining. Or put it right above kitchen and then push in through dining. Something to stir up trouble, but it's a delayed Fuse charge is what you should be looking for.
Yeah, and dining pushes are something that Orgless are actually really good at, so it surprises me they've been so top down and not necessarily focusing on that. But Eclipse hiding in his jungle spot again.
Yep, and Jahan a little bit of a trouble here it looks like, and he will be picked off as Slash moves on in, and just another trade to left and right. K9, though, utilizes the second Fuse charge, gets 1 kill, and follows up with a trade. Here comes K9 for a second kill as Fuse. It is now a 2-on-1, all up to Esley. 30 seconds left to go. Esley's inside of the kitchen.
You saw that drone?
Fuser's right there.
You're there.
Just can't land the shots. K9, though, spots him, calls it off, and it will be Fuse falling to the bullet to the 1-on-1. 15 seconds left to go. Avian knows exactly where he is, and he will pick off the toes of Esley and finish him off.
So close. I mean, he is a 3 armor operator, but with that low health left, just, yeah, definitely exposed. That is one of the things you have to remember, too, about going prone is great, But going prone makes you way more horizontal than vertical, and it's situations like that where you got very little horizontal coverage. You got to watch your toes. So that was a successful attack, the first successful attack on Trophy. We are seeing a very strong push here from Orgless. Started 1-1.
I'm going to give that one to Fuse.
Yep.
Good job, K9.
Fuse, Mute. We're seeing the different operators really come out into their own here. That is now 4-1 Orgless match point.
Yeah, and so I think what this helps to show or helps to showcase is the fact that with these teams being so well diversed in strats, so well diversed in how to counter player movement, that operator abilities are, in some regards, not every regards, and not by any means tremendously, but in some regards, being less dependent upon. In the sense that Fuse, his ability is very good, but he was never chosen before because of just his slow nature, his loud nature, and his ability, as you saw when Jahan heard it, he just ran away.
Yeah,
now,
but gets him out of position.
It does get him out of position, and I think that's the trade-off. Is instead of bringing this, instead of bringing the thermite to open up the drop hatch, which
arguably not that useful.
Not that useful, especially on this bomb site. They decided to go for someone with arguably an equal or better operator ability, just a little bit slower.
Well, it makes sense. If you combine him with Buck, you've got a lot of top-down power. Then bring in Capito as well with his ability to fire arrows down through the floor. A lot of top-down attack power, and that's what we saw. Now, we're seeing the same operator. Oh, that's not a good start for
Bacon. Woo! Don't peek through the kitchen window.
Kitchen window. Embarrassing.
K9.
Wah, wah, wah.
And as
there we go.
As we
Good
try
trade.
and give Bacon just a little bit of love, it will be Slash just saying, nope.
I think you actually made a bad trade there, Bacon. So, yeah, but wow, good attack.
Eclipse pushing on into the lobby, able to find the head of Snake and just decapitate it.
That was kind of a little bit of luck in that guy just being out of position. Eclipse, though, is a great player, so I'm not surprised he exploited that as well as he did.
Justin's drone going to go for a little roller coaster as he throws it up the sky.
Orbital drone strike.
Doesn't get it up top, though.
Oh, just barely doesn't see Capito there. Or no, Capito is on his team. What am I saying?
Avian, though, also here inside of Trophy. Now, Drone not going to spot him either, but Jarvis and Slash are up top. Jarvis is inside of the bathroom and going back and forth in between the master bedroom here. He's going to stay inside of his jacuzzi, though, as Slash is inside of office. Only one on site is Avian, and the attackers right now aren't really making a push just yet. If they were to drone out effectively, they might see that the dining room is open. They can push in potentially through kitchen, get a nice plant down, but instead they're going to seek to open up the wall into Trophy, force Avian to move away just a bit, feel a little bit more claustrophobic inside of Trophy.
He's not going to see Eclipse laying prone there like that, aiming too high and ACOG'd in.
Now Jarvis is looking, he's inside a bathroom, but doesn't have the angles he needs. He's going to poke out with the pistol, landed onto Esley.
That's the diffuser too. That's going to make them have to push all the way back outside to get that. He can punish it if he's able to get an angle.
I don't know why he pistoled, but it worked for him, so more power to you. Slash, though, has been downed on the back stairs. It looks as though Jarvis is going to try to come and res him back up, but while we say that, Avian is down. Now both bomb sites are clear for the attackers, but Diffuser is still way outside of the lobby. Slash will pick up the kill onto Justin, and now it's Eclipse and Jahan versus Jarvis and Slash. A 2-on-2. Eclipse is now able to get the Diffuser. We'll have to see, does Jahan hold on to the bomb site with enough time for Eclipse to come back in?
This is going to put a lot of time pressure on them. It's time for them to get in new positions that could flank this plant.
Slash has gotten back into the kitchen, doesn't see Eclipse rotate on over. Diffuse will get planted as Jarvis is staying up here. I don't know why. He hasn't moved yet the entire round. Diffuser gets planted. Slash tries to land some bullets. Jahan gets the kill and will drop. Jarvis now also falls from the balcony. Picks off Eclipse. No, he doesn't. Eclipse with the flick to the left. Picks off Jarvis.
And that will keep them from losing as they were on match point. They had to win that to stay in the map here, and they just barely did.
I thought Jarvis had that.
Yeah.
I looked and he fell down. Perfect shots. He should have gotten the kill as he popped in through the window. Just did not.
Well, it's well played by both. Like, good reactions from Eclipse there and a great flank by Jarvis.
So I don't know if Jahan purposefully dropped.
I think he did to kind of guard it from below.
I want to say he did. But if he didn't and Jarvis got that kill,
yeah, that could have been
it would have just been Jarvis clutching it right there.
Yeah, it could have gone either way. Definitely. So we'll, of course, see the trophy room again as the attack was successful last time. Means that Miner doesn't have to go down, which is good for them. They want to try and defend this one again. It's their better bomb spot, but they're still a match point. So it's 4-2 right now. They've got to get 2 more points to stay in this. We said that last time for Orgless, and they didn't. So this could go the same way. We're in a very similar position to what we just saw in Favela, but this time in Orgless's favor, so the tables have turned, as there's tables in Titan. So they're definitely trying to set up pretty much the same way. Interesting that the fuse is coming back out. We'll see take 2 of that, see if that works as well. Slash back on that Twitch.
See, now to help prevent K9 from getting to his usual spot, all you really have to do is sit here in the office, look at the door. You can also open up this window to make sure they can't climb the ladder, which is right here. You can see the shadow of it. I don't think it actually shows on the
yeah, you can see the shadow of it there.
You can see the shadow of it. And so from this angle, you can hold both the doorway and the window.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and secure. Now, the only thing that's going to get you out of there really is going to be a nade. But then, okay, you're making them utilize resource. You're not giving this to them for free.
Yeah, not to mention you can shoot them in the head when they're climbing up the ladders and they can't shoot back.
So K9 being a little safe there, droning it first.
Good call, especially given what we were just talking about and this being match point for them still to take. Nice putting his drone in there. He does want to play that positioning, and he'll probably still hang out up here for a while first. It looks like he just wants to wait for a certain amount of the floor to be cleared before he comes in.
See, a part of me wants... Ooh, Jarvis, though, playing Ash, picks up the shots on the bacon. A part of me wants to see K9, though, place a fuse charge on this window and just wait, have a drone possibly waiting for a lurker to come into Fireplace, just blow it.
That would be interesting, just fling them all around Fireplace. The attacker's in a strong position here. That fuse charge may be even more important with so few defenders left. If you're able to catch one of them off guard with this much attack strength.
Ooh, there's the C4, but
so
he evades
close.
it just in time. And Buck gets away with the hair on his chinny chin chin. Snake now coming back to the same location where the C4 just blew up.
See, that's why you almost don't want to blow that hatch. Now he's got a place to stand safely.
Yep.
Now he's got an angle as well, so he can stand there and look for anyone who moves out of position right there. Justin, though, and Esley both taking people out.
Ooh, and there it is. Blackbear getting the shots, and now it is all up to Eclipse and Esley. Eclipse coming up the back stairs. Esley inside of Trophy. Gonna try to get the shots. He landed on a Snake, though, and right now it is now 2-on-2. Minute 15 left to go. It's gonna be all up to Slash and Avian if they want to secure this round and make it 1 point for them today. Slash going into the office, gonna actually jump on over to Fireplace. But Eclipse is there. Does he get the shots? He sees him. He's just gonna hold off, saying, is there someone else coming behind? Comes up, 1! Here's 1 kill. He doesn't get the other just yet. And that's gonna give Esley time to push on in, but doesn't get the kill. Now Slash knows behind him is where the last defender is. 45 seconds to go. Diffuser in hand for Slash. He's gonna try to get on over to Trophy, but is Eclipse gonna get on in?
Nice Claymore placement. That might help, but I don't know.
All right, so Diffuse will go down. Eclipse is going to push on in now. 35 seconds. Diffuse gets planted, but he spots him, and it will be Slash falling to Eclipse. And now it's going to be here with Miner eSports.
Wrong button.
Wrong button, but there he goes, killing.
Could you imagine if he walked into that Claymore right then?
I'd be speechless.
Yeah, that would feel really bad, but they're still going to need another point to stay in this.
Yeah, so it is 4-3 right now with Miner eSports trying to come back, trying their hardest to come back, and you could see the enthusiasm there.
So excited.
Very excited.
He really wanted to see the heartbeat of that diffuser.
He wanted to destroy it, and he did. He did.
Yeah. So, again, back to kitchen trophy room. So, they're going to have a heck of a fight here, as both teams seem to have lost their ability to defend it successfully.
Yep. Now,
with the exception of that round.
We didn't get to see Fuse do his stuff.
No.
Unfortunately.
Next time. Oh, they're going wine cellar instead.
Changing it up to wine cellar and snowmobile garage downstairs in the basement. We'll have to see how it plays out because Trophy has been the spot that a lot of teams enjoy.
Yeah. They're going to do their best down here as they just need to win one more round to take it.
Yeah,
They've got to be feeling tense now.
Last time what we saw on the garage hold was an attempt from, I believe it was actually flip-flopped. We had Orgless that was pushing on the attack side. They opened up this drop hatch. They were able to open up the top of this wall, and this is where Bacon was sitting, right between the bobbing for apples bucket over here, that wooden barrel, and you have the 4 kegs right over here.
Yeah.
10 seconds to go.
That looks like something you would bob for apples in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost Halloween season, almost time to bob for apples when you're out trick-or-treating. I don't know.
That's right. Hopefully we'll get some good
I did that.
Yeah.
There was always a house that always had to, you had to bob for apples before you actually got to get your candy.
Well, that's nice. Make you work for it.
I know, right?
Burn off some of that sugar that you're going to have. Hopefully we do see some good Halloween headgear. That'd be nice. Some scary masks for
I'd
some
love
of
to
these guys.
see that. I mean, we do have the scary clowns already, but
True story.
we'll have to see. Have to see. So, with that, we are now underway in the attack round with Snake and Slash playing upstairs, doing a little lurk here, even though Bomb is all the way downstairs in the basement.
This is what you want to do, right? Playing far away from the bomb can really pay off if you're going to play lurk. They do see that the door's open. Snake's like, all right, I gotta watch this out here. A lot of kills have come in there from people like Eclipse.
Now, you've got the cam here. I'm not quite sure you need to actually be watching it with the drone or from above in the bathroom. Maybe you do. Maybe that's the point of that camera, to tell you when someone's coming in. But the cam there inside of dining spots
Nice
Eclipse.
cam.
Now, let's take a quick look over at him here.
Oh, he's trying so hard.
He's trying to land the bullets, but directly above him. I want to say Snake should get this shot. He could have, I think, but he just didn't. So with that, it's now Slash falling to the likes of Ash as she pops on into the office. Bacon, however, also gets the shots onto Snake. There it is, a two-man kill, a 5-on-3 swap right here with 1:35 left to go in the round.
There goes a lot of the roam power now. This is going to leave it down to a lot of the site people.
I feel like Orgless is being a little bit careless with their strats here.
I feel like I could have said that about most of Favela as well.
Yes. So with that, we're going to see this in favor of the attackers. They still have their thermite. Justin is the only one that has gotten damage done. He's playing it safe on top of the K9 balcony at the moment.
Jarvis has been droned out. Avian's been droned out now. They know where those two are. It's going to not bode well. I mean, it's down to K9 at that point if these two get killed. Thermite going to open up a lot of access here. Jarvis still on his camera, though.
So there it is. Wall getting opened up. This is going to just make most of the winery undefendable. Let's take a quick look at where the defenders are sitting. Only Jarvis is inside of sight, but we still have Buck being tagged by the camera inside of dining. Avian, however, looks at the back hall, able to pick up Bacon, and if we keep an eye here on Jarvis, he's still behind the kegs. Jahan's going to try to move on in, but will be killed off by K9. And as we show this, Jarvis is now on cam and spots Eclipse inside. He's also taking a look over here at Avian, looking through some bullet holes there from the snowmobile garage in towards the winery. He's now decided it's time for a flank, but I think Ash is ready for it. And she plays on those back stairs. Esley, though, succumbs to, I believe it was an impact grenade, possibly the C4. And Eclipse picks up Jarvis. Avian able to get Eclipse. The diffuser's still not down in time. 5 seconds left. This could be the clutch from Orgless, as Minor eSports just cannot plan inside the wine closet, and it will be Orgless taking the win there due to the lack of time and Minor eSports not getting the defuse down.
I think he was trying to plan it and dropped it instead.
He was. He moved on into the wine closet because you think, hey, that wall's opened up. It's the wine, quote unquote. Just didn't work out because that's not a location you can get the diffuser down.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give Minor